welcome to week 3. We're still on section A1. We're nearly finished with section A1 on the spec, which is input output devices, and I'm also going to talk a little bit about data and data recovery. Hopefully this week I'm going to number these videos so it'll be a bit easy to look through, but there won't be as many this week because we will be starting the second unit as well, so please look out for that because that'll be on the other classroom. But I'll get straight into it. So, uh, we're looking at input and output. At this stage, it is really simple. So we're not going to go over too much. To be honest, you'll probably know about most of this. So I will go over input and output and storage devices. It's really straightforward. It makes sense as to which each of them are and sort of main features of them. When we get on to RAID and data recovery, that's going to be a bit more in depth because RAID is something you may not know about. Some of you may have heard of it but don't know how it works. Some of you may know how it works completely, but it's something that we need to go over, and I will try and explain it to the best of my abilities. So, so input devices. Obviously, you will all probably know what an input device is. It's anything used to transfer data into a computer system and obviously control it. So, if you're going on a Word document via keyboard or anything like that, or clicking with a mouse on a screen, or even talking to a microphone like I'm doing now, they are all types of inputs, which again I imagine all of you know. Um, One thing that you definitely need to know is that they may send data through but not store data themselves. Obviously, a few of them may do. If you look at the keyboard on the top right, you'll see that it has this keyboard in particular has special function keys on the left. So it might be it has some memory in it. Depends on what type of device it is, but generally input devices do not store data. Sometimes they do, depending on the make and model, but generally input devices do not do that. So obviously you've got keyboard transmits instructions via the keys on the keyboard. Mouse obviously used for graphical user interfaces only. Like you cannot use this outside of a GUI. So this is specific tool for user interfaces. Usually, you could get away with running a computer without a mouse, really. Webcams, again, they transmit video data through or onto a computer system. So when I say through, it can be through the internet to somewhere else. That's what it gives as an example in the spec. And obviously, same for a microphone. It transmits sound data either through or onto the computer system. Really straightforward stuff, but if it ever asks for examples, give those as examples because they're the key things that it highlights within the spec. So, output devices, again, pretty self-explanatory. It's data that comes out of the computer system instead of going in. They'll instruct the output device to do whatever data is coming out of the PC or whatever software is running on the system itself. So, depends on obviously what's running and what's being sent out. Again, printers, they can obviously reproduce text and images onto paper from your computer that it sends out a certain type of signal, and the printer will interpret that and be able to obviously print it on paper. Screens slash projectors, again, they display anything that the PC is sending to it. These are one of the most crucial output devices because obviously you need to see what is happening within your PC, so you do need this as a bare minimum to at least see what's going on inside your computer to run it properly. Without that output device, you wouldn't be able to really use or program your computer at all. And obviously, then speakers, the exact same thing as everything else. It converts digital audio signals into audible sound as it comes out of the computer. It's literally as simple as that for input and output devices. It's nothing majorly overcomplicated. When we get on to doing architecture, though, it will be a bit more in depth, and there might be architecture questions mixed with questions like these. So it might say, um, what type of output devices are there, and then it might say how would uh, text and images be actually displayed in a computer system. So how would the architecture actually print that out? Which again we'll go over when we get onto architecture, which is in a later section. So some people will have already written about these before, input and output devices. Obviously, you can get some that do both. USB is obviously used for thousands of different purposes. You could say webcam. It does say webcam is an input device, but webcam can be an output device as well. Some of them have speakers built into them. Excuse me. And obviously, there's things like memory sticks and what have you. So keyboard and mouse can be used as inputs. Printers and storage devices can be used as outputs. Flash drives again can be used as input and output because they can send data to your computer and the computers can send data back to them. So USBs can be both inputs and outputs. Obviously, it depends on what they're being used for. Gamepad and joysticks, again, the exact same thing, and a few people had put these as multifunctional devices. It's just that they have inputs and outputs, so obviously you can send data into the computer, and you can also get data back out of the computer for, say, like haptic feedback or vibrations or anything like that, which you obviously probably will already know about because that's quite a common one for gamepads. And then again, I've already mentioned storage devices can be used to read and write data. I'll go more into that in the second video because there is a lot more to talk about for storage devices other than just that. So, that's essentially the first video for week 3. I will be putting up your other video for your second unit as well, so please look out for that. There's not going to be as much work for this unit this week because of that. So yeah, so watch out for any questions that need doing, and I will talk to you in a video for the IT system security unit over in that unit on Classroom. So hope this has been alright. As I say, leave me any feedback because I know some people said they preferred it in chunks but just need it numbered. So just let me know if anything else needs doing and I will sort it hopefully.